doing out there? This is Pete over at SWRNC. We're back on our Mustang. Where did we fucking leave off? I don't even fucking know. Oh, we left off right here. This is where we left off, with this fucking mess right here. We went ahead and used the used parts that were salvageable to use. And if you can do that with your parts that you take off your car, do it, because the factory part is always going to be better than the aftermarket part.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So just to recap it up, what we did is we went ahead and used these sections right here. These are the sections. This was the first thing that we took off this car when we started on this fucking monster. That's the first thing we took off, and we're at the stage right now that we've already put them back together. These are just an extension piece that actually helps hold these front aprons in place. It's nice and solid now. You can... All right. I believe that they do make these things. They're probably pretty cheap and inexpensive, but I guarantee you they don't fit like the factory ones are supposed to fit. Now, the only thing that we don't have welded on this front apron section here, the only thing that's not welded is the frame rails off of the, you can see them down there, the frame rails off the apron section there. We don't have that welded to the firewall yet, because what I want to do is I want to go ahead and weld the floor and the firewall together and get all that done, and then we'll come in and weld all that in. And another reason I don't want to do it is because we still have to put these fucking torque boxes in. I've already told you that, but I want to show it to you. That's a major fucking situation, putting them bitches in. That's a real big fucking job down there. And we're going to probably save that for last, because these fucking things right here, they look simple and easy, and you think they just slide up in there and you just weld them in. Bullshit. These motherfuckers are a bitch. And anyway, we don't even have time to fuck with the torque boxes, because right now what we're working on is we're still working on this fucking hinge post A-pillar. We're trying to get it all back together, and we still got several hours of fucking work going on that situation. So let me go ahead and get the air compressor turned on and, you know, get everything going here and start winding the fucking clock up so we can get to work. All right, what we got right here, we got this little corner section right here that we got to fill in. And if you look right there, you can see what I'm talking about. Now, replacing all these pieces was a very tricky and big situation in itself. If you go back into my videos, you can see what the fuck this corner looked like before my friend Pete got a hold of it. It was a real fucking nightmare. We still got to clean all our spot welds up and get all that cleaned up, but we're going to do that later after we get all this cleaned up right here. Now, we can't leave that like that with that big fucking hole right there. That's not going to work. And then, of course, our section, this was the used section that the owner supplied off another car. I don't know if it was off a coupe or a fastback or a 1966 or a 68. I don't know what the fuck that was off of, but we went ahead and used it anyway. And what we got to do is we got to fill this little section in right here, and then of course underneath right there we got to fill all that in. Don't get all shocked and drastically out of shape because all those welds are fucking still looking like they are. We just haven't ground them down yet, and we haven't cleaned them up. So when we get all done with this mess, it will look factory original and be a beautiful situation, a masterpiece of art, straight from SWRNC. So just hang on, and we'll get to that point of cleaning up our messes once we get to it. So to start out with this mess, you can see that I have this old piece of floor pan. Now, this isn't an old piece of used floor pan. If you look right here, you can see that the owner purchased this floor pan many years ago, and this is how they were going to actually repair the car before they brought it to my friend Pete, and we decided to go ahead and replace the whole floor. So instead of wasting these and throwing them away, what I've been doing, I've been cutting sections out of this, and I think I told you once, but if you're a newbie and you're just catching up with this, what we are doing here is I am trying to show you that buying a section like this, all right, this is a floor pan that was purchased. These things probably cost about 30 bucks, $35, $40, and having one of these for patching your floors is very handy because of all the contours and all the bends and the angles that it comes with. So if you look right here, you can see, or I already drew this section out where it's got this contour here and this contour here. And what we're going to do, we're going to cut this section out right here, and then we'll be able to go ahead and mass produce a piece that will fit in here. So I'll go ahead and take my cutting wheel, and we're just going to cut this one little section out right here and then go from there. You know what? Hang on one fucking second here. I need a special tool to do this job, or I'm not fucking doing it. Just like that. Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is my special tool? This is the special tool that we need, and without this special tool, it ain't fucking working, bitch! I'm sorry, I got a little bit of Tourette's going there. This is the tool we're talking about. This tool actually goes with this tool, which actually goes with this tool. And the tools we're talking about are safety, all right? Okay, we just got done cutting this piece out right here, and as you can see, it's got a nice contour of the angle that we might possibly be using. So we'll take our scrap piece, now that it's a scrap piece and we've been using it, we'll throw that in our pile there. We don't need it now. Get this thing off. And now what we're going to do is we are going to find the angle that we need to fit into our contour where we're going to use it. And I'm sure there's going to be some hammering and dolling that's going to be required, but using a piece like this is going to save us a lot of time and anguish as we mold it in place. So I can see right there that that's where we're going to go with it. We'll get that in the corner. Then we'll take our magic marker and we're going to overlap this, and then we'll cut that out. Now before we go any further, I'm going to go ahead and take my hammer, my body hammer, and I'm going to kind of mold that in there and see what happens. We've got to get all this shit off first. Bitch. And I need another fucking hammer. I'm using the wrong fucking hammer. What the fuck is going on? Alright, that's the hammer I wanted. That's the hammer I wanted. I want the ball peen hammer. I want this round ball peen action hitting that corner instead of a body hammer like this. You see the difference? And that's a situation we have, that it takes different tools for different jobs, just like it takes different hammers for different angles. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to take my vice grips, handy dandy vice grips, and I am going to vice grip this down onto the car right here, and that's going to hold it in place while we hammer it. Just like that. Now we can take our body hammer and hit our corner. This edge right here, and if you watch real close, the reason I'm rolling that edge, and I'm going to go ahead and mark it out for you, is because it's leaving an imprint right here of where we're going to have to cut that off. You see what I'm saying? Now we don't know where we're going to cut it in this area right here yet, but we know that this here, from hitting it with our hammer and that's where this edge is going to be. So now we go ahead and remove our piece, and you can see that now it is pretty much molded to the way that we want. And when I cut that off, I'm either going to go right in the middle or I'm going to go on the outside edge of the line I drew. I can always grind that down to fit later on. Son of a bitch. Motherfucker, that's getting fucking hot. Bastard! Fuck! Motherfucker! Okay, before I go any further, I want to mark out, I'm just going to make some marks here, where the fuck we're going with this. Because what I got to do, I'm just marking out a map so I can trim my edges off. You can see that line right there that I drew. I went ahead and kind of visualized it going through to the dash, so when I look at it straight on, I'll know where I need to cut it. So I'm looking at my line that I drew on the dash, and I'm going to come straight through to this line right here. And it looks like it's going to be about right there. Like that. I'll go ahead and take my cutting wheel just like this, and I'm going to go on the outside of the line. I'm going on the outside of the line. That way I'll have a little bit of play action where it's a little bit longer. Now that that is cut, let's see what we got. And you can see now fitting in there really nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to trim some of this because I want this to be back here. But then I notice right here, you see what I'm saying? To cover that hole up, we need to keep that right there. Alright, so what I'll do now is I'm going to go ahead and start trimming this up, cleaning it up with my little grinder, so we can fit it in there where it'll fit perfect. And now we can go ahead and clamp that in place and start welding it. Before I weld it though, what I want to do, and this is kind of important, is I want to go ahead and put a spot weld right here on this, because what that's going to do, that's going to kind of hold it together a little bit more stronger. So we're going to drill a hole right there. And then before I install my piece on there, what I want to do is, I noticed that this top section here, which would be part of the windshield post area where they cut through it, I'm going to go ahead and spot weld that to the inner windshield area right here, so we don't have any vibration. It'll eliminate all the vibration that might be caused from loose fucking metal. And that's one of the reasons I went ahead and drilled that hole out, because we want this to be a nice, tight, secure situation that when the owner is driving his car and having fun and going around in circles and burning rubber, we don't want to hear any little unwanted vibrational noises that might be caused from not fucking doing this little deal right here. And I believe one little spot weld will fix that up and make it like we want it. Then we'll go ahead and grind that down. And then we'll go ahead and take our piece and fit it in, test fit it one more time. And I see that I got to grind the top of that. When you're doing this type of welding, you want to make sure that all surfaces and edges are clean. So having that magic marker on there isn't going to cut it. Alright, now we're not going to worry about this top edge because I want to be able to go ahead and grind that down to the way that I want it. One more thing that I want to show you here, and we'll take my hammer to point it out, is this is an aftermarket piece right here. This is our aftermarket piece, and I want you to notice how this fits on here. You can see the line right here. It doesn't follow the factory original body line, so I'm kind of concerned about that situation, and I wish I had a windshield here to test fit this in, but I don't. So all we can do is make exact measurements, and hopefully everything will fit the way it's supposed to be. But when you're doing stuff like this and you're really being precise, this right here can be a fucking problem, because if you look at that right there, you see that it's not following this line. It's actually about a quarter inch or more down, which can mean that this is down inside there and it's not following the contour of the factory where the chrome goes on. So hopefully we won't have a situation there, and we'll have to contact the owner and see what he wants to do about pre-fitting all this in there and making it right. Now, I just want to let you know that I have made exact measurements from side to side, and it seems that it's all going to work out properly. But under normal circumstances, if you were doing this at home, or I would have the pieces that I need to properly fit in there, you would actually want a fucking windshield, and you would use your glass as the guide to make sure all of this is working properly. Let's get this piece on there so we can get down the road. But this is a tech tip, helpful hints that you are learning just watching me. That's why I tell everybody out there, watch, listen, and learn. And that's exactly what you're going to be doing, is learning just from watching what I do and listening to the shit that I'm telling you is going on here. Kind of like the fucking windshield glass that we don't fucking have. And now what we're doing is we are actually going to Las Vegas to the casino. We're pulling the handle on the one-armed bandit fucking machine, and hopefully we're going to hit 3 cherries and not 1 cherry and 2 duds here and hit a home run, hopefully. Speculating and guessing like we're doing here is not for the narrow-minded. Remember that. Thank God that I've done this more than once, and everything should work out the way it's supposed to. But as I'm fitting it on here, I noticed that it's just a little bit overhanging. I don't want no overhanging on here because I want it to be a nice flush fit. Where did my fucking magic marker go, motherfucker? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit it in there where I want it. And then right here, I'm going to go ahead and trim this edge off because I want that to be a nice flush fit. So when I weld it, everything is flush mounted into it. Now, one more important thing before we weld this in here, if you notice, we got bare metal showing here, and once we weld all that in there, we're not going to be able to paint it. So what we're going to do is we are going to use our rust converter paint right here. All right, this is our rust converter paint that you can purchase at your local paint and body shop store. And what rust converter is, it actually protects your metal and also converts any type of surface rust into a hard, durable primer. So we'll go ahead and get a little spray right here, just like that. And then we'll go ahead and spray the back side of our piece right here that we're going to put in there, just like this. And then we'll let that dry, and when we come back, we're going to weld that piece in there, and hopefully everything's going to look good. Now, this type of rust prevention shit that I'm using, it is a weldable primer, and it is made for and designed for this. There are many, many brands out there that you can purchase to use. So go to your local paint and body shop store and pick a can of this up. It's very good stuff. We'll be back.
For watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.
Adios, amigos.